All right, so you have a review in front of you. The problem is that the questions aren't really there, so you can't really work ahead. Hopefully you'll keep up with us and you won't be behind. But we are going to review as a whole class. It seems like the on your own reviews aren't really getting done. So we're going to do it this way, see if it helps. Hopefully this will give you all a really nice quiz grade tomorrow going into the end of the semester. So this is what we're doing now?
Yeah.
No. This is to get you ready for your quiz tomorrow. All right. The first set of examples is all about simplifying the ratio.
I can't see that.
3 feet, 18 inches. Sure. That's a great idea. All right, so 3 feet to 18 inches. How do I reduce this ratio? Yeah, first you want to get them both to be the same unit. All right, so we want inches and inches. So I'm going to multiply this one by 12. Okay? So now I have 36 inches over 18 inches. I also wrote it as a fraction, just to help me simplify. Then what? Simplify, what is it? 2 over 1. You don't need labels when you simplify the ratio. It's 2 over 1. All right, here are the next two. So number 2 should be 12 in the blank. Number 3 is 10 months in the blank. Why don't you give those a try? They're both in terms of frogs. We don't have to multiply anything. We can just go right into writing it as a fraction and simplifying. How did you simplify? What? Divide them both by 2? What do you get? 6 over 35. Good. All right, the next one. Now the labels are different. What did you do? Yes, there are 12 months in 1 year. So I can multiply this by 12. Okay? So I feel like this is a little misleading because we multiplied this by 12 and this by 12. It's not like you always multiply by 12. These just happen to be 2 units that relate back to 12. All right, so we have 48 over 10.
Yes, ma'am.
24 over 5. You can divide them both by 2 once again. That's it. That is simplifying a ratio. What are your questions? Now we're solving a proportion. How do I solve a proportion? Cross multiply. You got to be careful though, since there are 2 terms in the denominator on this side. When you multiply, you got to use parentheses. Now we can distribute. We can also actually multiply the 7 and the 8. If you want to do that right away and just go right to the 56, that's okay. From here, what do we do? Add 4. Divide by 2. We get 30. Questions on number 4. Cross multiplying it tends to be a topic that students do well at. All right, give these 2 a shot. Here they are. For number 5, above the A is a 3. For number 6, below the T plus 8 is an 18. All right, so number 5, how'd you start that one?
You put the 7A equals 3 times the 14. Then you get 7A equals 42. And then you got to divide the 42 by 7, and you get 6.
That was really good. How do you do that? Woo! I'll give that a round of applause. There you go. Any questions? All right, number 6. Number 6.
C equals 1. You want to do the same thing he did?
I want you to do it however you want to do it. Cross multiply. Careful to distribute.
Yeah.
Okay?
Then you subtract the 8.
Yup.
You get 10. Then you get 1.
Perfect. Now, how can you check these tomorrow? Yeah, you could put, no. You could put the 6 right here. This reduces to 1/2. This reduces to 1/2. All right? When you put the 1 here, they actually both reduce to 1/2 again. That's just a coincidence. All right? Any questions? All right. Ooh, this one is small. I will read this one for you. So in the blank, put 4 weeks.
Which blank? Oh, never mind.
What?
Oh, that's crazy. You going crazy over here.
We
At
some
number
genius,
5,
bro. Like, no cap.
number 5, he guessed that it was gonna be 3/8, and then I was like, all right, bet I can do it too. And then I was like, the number 7, I'm gonna say it's gonna be 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
This is really good. I love how into this you guys are. I wish you guys were hanging on all my lessons like this. All right. So we want to write this as a unit rate. What is a unit rate?
Rate that's a unit.
The most simple.
It's per,
Per
like per 1, right? So in this example, it'll be per week. So if you earn $325 in 4 weeks, I want to know how much you earn in 1 week. How would I do that? Divide. 325 divided by 4.
81.25. $81.25 per week.
So good. The answer is $81.25 per week. You can write it per like PER, or you can write it like /week. You just divide the two numbers. This divided by that. It's basically reducing a fraction in a way that makes the denominator a 1. Any questions?
No.
All right. You have 2 more unit rates. They are kind of little. So number 8, it's a 60 points in 48 minutes. Number 9, it's 11. So 22 inches of snow in 11 hours. So on number 8, it's 80 points in 48 minutes. So I want to find out how many points in 1 minute. So you divide the points by the minute. So 60 divided by 48. 1.25 points per minute. Again, if you want to use the PER per, you can. Or you can use a little slash. All right, number 9. 22 inches of snow in 11 hours. That is correct. It is 2 inches per hour. You just divide inches by hours. What are your questions? Yeah.
How many questions are on the test?
It's almost the same as this. So 19, I think. There are 24 blanks. So I was going to make each blank worth 2 points and then give you 2 freebies.
You should start doing multiple choice.
No. All right, number 10. If you are driving 255 miles on 17 gallons of gas, how far can you go if you have 20 gallons of gas?
Not that far.
All right, so I need to set up a proportion. So I am going to set mine up as miles over gallons. So I know I can go 255 with 17, right? So those go together. That's my first ratio. I have miles on top, gallons on the bottom. Do I know how many miles I'm going to go?
264.
If we learn how many
No, this is the variable, okay? So it equals, I don't know how far I can go if I have 20 gallons.
Exactly.
And then we cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you get 17x equals 5,100. Divide by 17, 300. So my answer is 300 miles. What was that? I don't know. I just got really excited. Okay, questions on this one? All right, so this says the ratio of teachers to students at Belleville West is 2 to 47. So that means for every 2 teachers, there's 47 students. These numbers are made up, okay? So if there are 2,115 students, how many teachers are there? So I'm going to put teacher numbers over student numbers. All right? So 2 teachers for every 47 students. Chill out. I am looking for how many teachers for this many students. All right? Now I need to cross multiply. So 47x equals 2 times 2,115. Okay. Divide both by 47. 90. There are 90 teachers. Again, this is made up, so don't go to the school board and deliver our data. So same idea, it's just actually spelled out a little easier for you, I think, on these. So if you can do 15 layups in 35 seconds, X layups in 98 seconds. I'm going to do layups over seconds, so 15 over 35 equals what? Well, if you do layups over seconds, it has to equal layups over seconds. So now we'll do 15 times 98 equals 35 times X. 42. And you are correct. You get 42 layups. What are your questions?
Do we have to put labels on the test?
Yes. This is a review of the first 3 sections of this chapter, so yes, it's probably from the homework a few days ago. All right, we good? All right, number 13. 2 towns on a map are 4.5 inches apart. How far are they really? If the scale of the map is 1 inch equals 50 miles. So how should I start this? Inches over miles sounds like a perfect plan. So I know from the map that 1 inch equals 50 miles. So inches over miles equals, does the 4.5 go on the top or the bottom? Top, because it's my inches. My variable goes on the bottom because I'm trying to find out how many miles. Now, if you have a calculator that does fractions for you and you want to type in 4 ABC1, ABC2, you'll get the same answer. I just changed it to a decimal because I don't like fractions within fractions. So when you cross multiply here, you are correct. We are getting 225 miles. In the diagram, JK, so in the diagram, the ratio of KJ to KL is 6 to 3, and the whole thing is 108. I want to find the 2 smaller ones. So I am going to label these.
That one is 6.
6x.
Yep, and the little one 3x.
3x, good. And when I add 6x and 3x, I get what?
9x.
Well, it's equal to what?
108.
108. So that's my equation. You're right, it's 9x.
You divide the 108.
Yeah, so each x stands for how many?
12.
How much? Yeah. Good. So I am going to plug 12 back in to find the lengths.
72.
So 72 and 36. All right? Now, I always double check. If I simplified these, would I get a ratio of 6 to 3? Well, 6 to 3 is just 1/2, and yeah, it does work out. And when I add them, do I end up with 108? And I do. Questions? All right. See if you can do this one. Ready, go. All right, so you can go ahead and label these. So if the ratio is 7 to 2, label one of the sides 7x, the other one 2x. If you want to label all the way around, since you're going to need all of the lengths to do perimeter, you can. Some people like that visualization. But I know that if this one's 7x, this one's 7x, 2x, and 2x, right?
Yes,
I'm going to
ma'am.
add them all up. That's what perimeter means. Equals 126. What do you get when you add 7x and 2x and 7x and 2x?
18.
18x. When you divide, what do you get for x? 7. Now, is that my answer?
No.
No, you have to plug it back in.
Back in.
49 and 14. So 49 feet by 14 feet. If you had those flipped, 14 by 49, I don't really care dimensions of a rectangle.
5 feet by 14 feet. How you get that feet?
How do we know the label is feet?
Yeah, no.
It's right here.
49 and 14.
Because I plugged x back in. So 7 times 7 and 2 times 7. All right. Number 16. These are pretty small, but I don't know if you're missing any information, are you? No. I think you've got it all. So you can do it on yours.
I don't know how to do this one.
All right, well, we
But
going
go
to
over it.
go back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, figure B to figure A. All right? That's the part I'm going to pay attention to as I'm going. So, the first thing I want to do, determine whether they're similar. If they are similar, write a similarity statement and find the scale factor of B to A. So, when I'm going through this, I'm going to start with B. I'm going to go to A just because that's the way my final answer is going to need to be written anyway. So, I'm going to set up all the ratios. 15 goes with 10. 24 goes with 16. 18 goes with 12. You're just matching the sides, writing ratios, always starting at B, then going to A, just because that's the way they told us to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if those all reduce to the same ratio, then these are similar. And when we reduce them, each one reduces to 3 over 2, 3 over 2, 3 over 2. So are they similar?
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, the similarity statement is when you go in the same order. So triangle, now I can't even see. So this is R, right? So the way it's written on the board, R, Q, P is similar to C, B, A. There are a lot of different ways that will work as long as the corresponding angles are in the right position. So like R and C have to be in the same spot. I have them both in the front. Q and B have to be in the same spot. I have them both in the middle. P and A have to be in the same. And you could actually switch the whole triangle. You could put CBA in the front if you want. Don't put a congruent symbol. These triangles are not congruent. They are similar, so it's just the squiggle. Okay? And then what is my scale factor? Yeah, it's the reduced ratio that we found a minute ago. Questions on number 16? All right, here is number 17. Same idea. I want the scale factor B to A. Okay? So I'm going to write ratios starting with B going to A. So the 9 and the 12 go together. The 6 and the 8 go together. When I reduce these, what do I get? 3 over 4 and 3 over 4. So are they similar? Yes. Similarity statement. The way I did it, I started at V. S, T, U. V has 1 tick mark, right? Then I went to the angle with 2. So I'm going to start with Z, then W, and continue around. All right? The corresponding angles have to be in the same position. This is not a triangle, so don't put a triangle symbol. There is a symbol for parallelogram, but we haven't learned it, so just write it like that. And then what is the scale factor? 3/4. Good. Now what if you reduce these ratios and they're not equal? Just put no and you don't have to do the rest. Okay?
You done?
I am not done.
You got some tissue.
I do not.
You got another the bathroom gets tissue.
You may not. All right, number 18. Now, pay attention to the similarity statement if you're not sure what goes with what, okay? So A, B, C, D, E, F. Do I need all of the sides?
Yes.
Do I need all of the sides?
No.
No, you really only need 2 sets. I need the one I'm looking for and its corresponding side. So X and 9 go together. Then you just need one other pair that you know. All right? So you can do, you said 6 and 8, which wouldn't have been right because the 9 and the 6 are from the same triangle, so they need to be in the same position. So I have big triangle over little triangle. I need to go back to the big triangle over the little triangle, lining up the sides. Questions on the setup? Cross multiply. 6x equals what? 72. X equals 18. No. That's not right.
You gonna work that too? You go for 6, you pay 22?
It is 12. I'm sorry. Who said 18?
I don't know.
You had me going there for a second. Yeah, because these reduce to, 4/3. So did you hear what I just did in my head? It's a very good teachable moment. If you put the 12 back in and you reduce them both, you should get the same ratio, okay? So 12 over 9 and 8 over 6 both reduce to 4 over 3, so that's a good way to check it real quick. Questions? We got one more.
I dropped my diamond, bro.
All right. So 2y and 20 in triangle ABC. In DEF we have 14 and 10. How am I going to write this? 2y over 14 equals 20 over 10. Now what? Cross multiply. So 20y equals 14 times 20, which is 280. Divide, y equals what? 14. You got to get rid of that 0. Okay, so what? Wow. What I'm going to do, I am going to give you a review to take home. It's pretty short, but it's one of each type, and you have the answers on there so you can see what you know how to do and what you still need to study for the quiz tomorrow. Questions?